Hello, my name is Keegan Knutson, and today I'm going to be touching on a few concerning topics in the audio world. I would like to first stress that these are not necessarily problems by themselves, but when put together like they are today, they can be quite troublesome. First topic I would like to discuss is basically what ties all the topics together, and this is the modern day value of recorded music. In this field, how much the engineers get paid and how much the artist gets paid all relies on the value we place on the music and what we are willing to pay for it. Of course, we all know about the effect that pirating music has on this, as it is essentially stealing music from the artist. However, streaming music, especially companies like Spotify, and even the option to buy music on iTunes, is also having a big impact on the industry. People are not listening to less music, and I think the problem lies in the precedent we have set in streaming music companies, that somehow we deserve access to some of this or all of this material for free. Companies like Spotify have a no limit service allowing you to stream music for free with short ads that don't compensate the company well enough to pay a decent price for the music. Also, artists make albums as their product to sell. It used to be that in order to hear artists' work, we had to buy their whole product, the album. With iTunes, users will only buy their favorite music from the album, song by song, which is also driving down sales in the music industry. Enough to limit jobs available in the music industry, according to a study published by academia.edu. The second thing is something I am personally appalled at, and that is that we are letting people who have nothing to do with the music industry profit from our product. iTunes is the biggest retailer of music on the planet. When piracy became a big deal, and software was able to rip music off the CDs to spread freely throughout the internet, the record labels were put under a lot of pressure to solve the problem. iTunes Store came out in 2003 and attempted to solve these problems, and did so very well. They kept an attitude that record labels were unable to see the benefit of. According to Macworld magazine, their attitude was, people who are motivated to steal music will continue to do so. But if you make stealing more trouble than it's worth by making digital music easy to find and purchase, and you price it reasonably, the vast majority of people will choose to buy rather than steal. But personally, I think that this is something that should have been solved within the industry itself. Not too long ago, in order to record the audio for your song, you would have to book time in a studio, rent the studio's equipment if needed, and hire the recording engineer to run your session in order to produce a high quality song. After this, your product would likely be sent to a mastering engineer for the finishing touches, costing a lot of money. This is not the case today, as a lot of the software and hardware used for recording music has become fairly reasonably priced for the everyday consumer. The problem comes when looking at the quality of the product produced. Many of these people do not have the skills required in order to produce a high quality product, and still do not want to spend the money to actually hire a recording engineer. All of this has to do with the value we have put on audio and the consequences that are taking place in the audio field as a result. I think the inability to escape the loudness wars is one of these consequences. I think music has turned into more of a business than an art form. The act of trying to compress music to make it as loud as you can without thinking about the consequences of the audio is definitely more about business than it is about the art of music. Whatever type of music the artist or producer is creating, they do not want it to be quieter than the album or song that was played before it. Current Science magazine says that this type of one-upsmanship is why we are continuing to do it. Also, the digital format that we use to download music, MP3 or MP4, have a degraded version of the audio already. So people are growing up listening to the bad audio and not seeing the problem as it gets worse because it is what they are used to. What I want to do for my final project is an interactive experience that teaches my audience a lot of these things in case they want to go out and record music of their own.